I keep getting questions on Harrison, how do I make a successful marketing strategy for my MSP? And truthfully, it's actually not as hard as we think it is. And it's going to be broken down into these three letters, ATM, because we have to think about it. It's like going to the ATM and pulling out cash. We want to automate and make it as easy as possible for us to get found on the internet and have that customer come over and sign a monthly recurring revenue contract. And in this video, I'm going to share with you the exact strategy that you need to follow over and over and over again to have insane success with bringing new prospects into your business and converting them into customers and turning them into cash. How are you doing? My name is Harrison Barron from growth-generators.com. We help MSPs grow, whether it's sales training, marketing training, or even business operations. Before I get into today's video, I do want to invite you to go check out two different areas. If you go to growth-generators.com/Discord, you can hang out with over 1,100. It still blows my mind that I get to say it, 1,100 other people in the MSP world. It is a super active and vibrant community. And the second thing is if you want to grab free resources to help you build your MSP, growth-generators.com/resources. So let's talk about the ATM strategy. Now, this is a bit more advanced marketing, but it's overall a really important concept that you're going to need for your MSP marketing. And these three are broken down into audience, traffic, and then monetization. And monetization is obviously that monthly recurring revenue, right? So let's start first with the A part of it, right? We need an audience. And I'm going to use a blue here, and hopefully you guys could see it nice and clear. But we need to have some kind of an audience, right? We need somebody to find us, right? They need to go find, hopefully, us on the internet. So how are they actually going to find us on the internet? Now, there's a ton of different ways that people can actually find us on the internet. In this case, your MSP, right? We'll just write ads. We have ads. We have blogs. We have YouTube. We have, I don't know, TikTok, Facebook, right? Instagram. All of these are different areas that are going to lead people into our audience, right? We basically need to either say, hey, we're going to pay for them to come in through ads, right? Or we're going to create content or a hybrid, whether it's blogs, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram. We can even say podcasting in here. That's supposed to be an S and T. Right? We might even want to use podcasts to bring them in there. But however we want to do it, we need to figure out how to get our dream customer to see us. And ultimately, there's only a handful of ways that we're going to, get that person in front of us. They're going to look on their phone and they're going to say, hey, how am I going to find out about this MSP? People want to be entertained, they want to be educated. So either they're going through Facebook or they're scrolling on Instagram, maybe even on TikTok, and they see your business creating content. At some point, you might want to put an ad in front of that person, right? YouTube, TikTok, podcast. Now, this doesn't mean we can't do something like maybe a networking event, right? Right? We could also do networking. That's another way to get us in front of our dream customer, right? Our audience. Because this person has a couple different things, right? They have the need, right? But most importantly, they have the ability to pay what we want, right? They have the need for our services. They have a want, hopefully, to change their technology environment. But truthfully, at the end of the day, no matter how good of a fit you think it is, they have to be able to afford our services right off the rip. So we have to make sure that we find this type of person, right? And this is your dream customer. And if you want to go grab a free buyer persona, it's at growth-generators.com/resources. But I'll leave a buyer persona template down below. You can go grab it. Like I said, it's free on our website. But we need to know who this dream person is. And then we need to leverage all of these other ways to get our stuff, right, all in front of this person, right? Building that audience over and over and over again, right? This is where we're going after, that audience. But we have to leverage sometimes several of these: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and there's plenty more, LinkedIn as well on there. I'm just not writing because I don't want to run out of room. But we have to get them all to become our audience, right? And by them and us creating content and them finding us, we're then going to increase our traffic, right? We have a nice little blue arrow here, right? Our traffic is going to increase over time. More people are going to find out about us and they're going to come over from that audience and create traffic, right? At some point or another, it's going to be brought over here and we're going to have a nice flow of traffic coming in. Now, that traffic could be anything from website views, it could be podcast listens, it could be views on your YouTube channel, however that you want to run it. We need to take all of these channels and drive traffic to something, right? So where are we actually going to go drive that traffic? Now, that traffic can happen, like I said already, on a website or something else, but we really want to get them somewhere to what is called a landing page. A landing page is the most important part of all of this. This is our conversion mechanism. This is quite literally the thing that helps us make money, because this will help separate a lot of the people that are either interested in pursuing either a further relationship, learning more, or it's going to get people to walk away from it, right? And at the end of the day, there's going to be a certain percentage of people that go through and they come down here and they make a decision, right? They're either going to say yes or they're going to say no, right? If they say yes, that means they're further interested in continuing the conversation. Ideally, we want to get as many people to say yes as possible. Obviously, if they say no, they go to the landing page, and these landing pages are going to offer value. Just like we offer for value at growth-generators.com/resources, we want to make sure that we're offering value to them. That value, specifically, if they're not interested in that value, they're not going to be a good prospect or a good customer. It's the people that want to take that relationship one step further. So we take all of this traffic, we drive it into this landing page. This landing page offers an ebook, a white paper, a checklist, a guide, a free training. There's all these potential opportunities for you to say, hey, we can give you all of this free stuff. We've taken the time, we've invested our money into making great resources, right, for you to take for your own business and hopefully implement. And there's going to be a certain percentage that'll say, yes, I would like to know more. I'd like to learn more. I'd like to get your tools and implement them. Right at growth-generators.com/resources. We have buyer personas, pricing training, pricing calculators, sales sheets, questionnaires, how to overcome objections. The list goes on and on and on, right? And then at some point or another, there's going to be a percentage of these people that have found you once again all through here. They've hit that landing page. They've all said yes. And then we get them to come over and say, hey, how do we then monetize these people into actual financial gain? Because at the end of the day, yeah, they're customers, right? We want to make money. That's the goal, is to make money. But we have to make sure they have the money for us, that they could pay our services. But not only that, they are interested in the value that we can provide to them, because they've gotten some kind of value through our Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, podcast, blogs. They've gotten extra value from getting our resources. Now they're ready to say, hey, you know what? I've taken the time to learn. I've taken the time to understand what's going on, right? I would like to have a deeper conversation, or potentially even become a customer at the end of the day, where they're willing to spend money every single month on your monthly managed services. This creates monthly recurring revenue. And this whole process, believe it or not, Takes time to set up, but once it does, you can print customers because we know how to monetize. We could put on software packages that are super easy for them to consume. We could sell them a variety of help desk support, compliance, all of that good stuff. But we have to make sure that we're willing to and able to bring them over to the M part, the monetization part, and offer them. We have to make offers. If we don't make an offer for them to say, hey, let's take our relationship a little bit further and give them an opportunity to say, yes, I do want to buy from you. If we don't take that opportunity, we're never going to convert customers over. Unfortunately, part of and marketing is we have to ask for the sale and we have to do the marketing to bring them in. But we have to get that audience and we have to figure out what's going to work best for us, right? Blogs, ads, YouTube, podcast, networking, Facebook, Instagram. We have to bring them over and they have to see something of value. Sometimes they have to see many things of value, right? This could be landing page after landing page after landing page after landing page. And they're going to go through and they might check out one of these. They might check out two. They might check out three. They might check out 5 or 10 of them. And over time, the value that that person is getting from your content goes up, which is exactly what they want or what we want, because people buy from people they know, people they like, and people they trust. They now know us, right? Hopefully they like the content enough to learn more. And then they take the content and they use that content to build trust. Wow, this person's actually putting out really, really good content. It could help my business. We've gotten them to know us. We've gotten them to like us. And we've gotten them to trust us. And not everyone's going to like us. That's okay, right? If they don't like us, they're in the no pile. They're not going to be a great customer anyway. Don't even sweat it. But there is going to be a percentage of those people that do like us and that they do trust everything that we're saying because we're putting out great content in our marketing. And then we can then monetize that. And like I said, monetization is just offering. It's saying, hey, what value could I provide to you? You never know. That person might be interested in maybe a one-off project. And before anyone comes after me and says, Harrison, I don't want one-off projects. It's a great way to get started with a new potential customer. Not every customer is going to want to say, I'd like to spend all of my money forever with you. It'd be a dream for them to say that, right? But that's not realistic. We have to make sure that everything works where we can use the ATM strategy, bring people over, build that audience, right? Get that traffic to go to our landing pages and sometimes multiple different landing pages. A percentage of those people are going to say, yes, I'd like to learn more, or no. And then we bring them over and monetize that. And we could also do other things than just sell monthly recurring revenue services. Obviously, that's what we want. Projects, hardware, software rollouts, or maybe they want to get started on something a little bit smaller. And then you can always offer more and more to upsell them and move them forward through the process. But this, believe it or not, is the same marketing strategy for every business under the sun for the most part. The audience is going to be different for every business. The traffic is still traffic. It's just a different audience of traffic going through. And then you have to make an offer for it. It doesn't matter if you're watching TV and it's a commercial. It doesn't matter if you're on listening to the radio, right? Or a podcast. The audience is listening to a podcast. They're learning more. They go to a landing page that potentially makes them an offer that says, hey, I want to buy, right? That's it. It is quite simply that simple when you come to actually building out a process for your MSP to succeed. I hope this wasn't too complicated. I like breaking out the whiteboard. My desk is currently still broken, so I'm going to be doing a bit more of the whiteboard strategy here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love you guys as always, and I'll see you guys in the next one.